What name is guy? Itauma. Moses Itauma. I think he's a great fighter. The young, 20 years, yeah?
That's why you got to watch it and find out. But one thing I will say about Moses is he's a very good fighter, good little boxer, good puncher, and a lovely kid as well. It's like
taking this fight, because this kid is on fire right now, and he's getting better and better. It's not like he's going backwards; he's going forward.
Fighters explain how terrifying Moses Itauma is in the ring. Tyson Fury praises a 20-year-old for his power, focus, and discipline. He highlights that Moses listens well, learns fast, and punches with real force. Facing someone like Dillian Whyte at this young age shows his confidence and talent. Many believe Moses is not just promising, but dangerous and has already earned the respect of top heavyweights in the sport. Alexander Usyk, one of the most technically sound boxers of this generation, didn't hold back his admiration for Moses Itauma. In a recent interview, Usyk praised Moses as a great young fighter.
Good fight, actually, especially for Moses. I think it's a very good time to fight Dillian. He's had a couple of years out the ring. But, make no mistakes, Dillian Whyte is a massive puncher. It's a head and body. I know he's taking it very serious. I'm speaking to Ty Mitchell, who's in training camp with him. And looking forward to the fight. It's a big step up for Moses because he hasn't really fought anybody on Dillian's level. The old Dillian, it was a couple of years ago. And it's going to be interesting to see how much that Dillian Whyte has left. And could this be potential? I think it does have the potential to do what Martin McCauley did to Jared Anderson. Maybe it's too early, or maybe he passes with flying colours. And that's why you got to watch it and find out. But one thing I will say about Moses is he's a very good fighter, good little boxer, good puncher, and a lovely kid as well. It's like a sponge. You tell him something, he absorbs it and he listens. And that's the great thing about the young kids who's coming up. And he's only 20 years old. I told him a few years ago, forget about breaking records, take your time, you've only got one career, and just enjoy it because I remember when I was 19, 20, and now 36 has gone like that.
And emphasize his strength and maturity inside the ring. Coming from a boxer like Usyk, who has fought and beaten the best in the world, this acknowledgement holds real weight. Moses' ability to impress someone of Usyk's caliber at just 20 years old proves that he's no ordinary talent. Usyk's recognition doesn't only highlight Moses' raw strength, but also suggests he already carries the composure and dedication of a seasoned fighter. Moses Itauma's coach revealed an interesting side to the young heavyweight, his passion for the history of boxing. Just like Mike Tyson, Moses studies the greats who came before him. He doesn't just watch fight tapes. He reads about their lives, their struggles, their techniques, and how they built their legacies. This mindset sets him apart from other young fighters who only focus on present-day opponents.
So young, to be as athletic as he is, look as polished as he is. Bear in mind, I interviewed Moses Itauma before his pro debut, and one of the questions I really wanted to ask him was how many amateur fights he'd had. For someone who looked so polished and was turning pro so young, bear in mind he'd only just turned 18 at the time, right? This is 2 years ago, nearly 3 years ago now. I really wanted to know how many amateur fights he had to look as polished as he did. And in that interview, he told me it was something like 22, 23 amateur fights, which is really, it's quite a low amount. It was a bit of a kind of land when he said it. I remember at the time thinking, huh? And then obviously you're interviewing, so you want to try and get the next question. You don't want to be just stopped in your tracks. But it genuinely nearly did stop me in my tracks, given how polished he looked and how good he looked. I was thinking, yikes, that's actually a bit of a strange one for someone to look that polished in such short of a time. And he's obviously been fighting good amateurs, and obviously he's not one of these amateurs like Anthony Yard, no offense, who had 10 amateur fight against low level, probably wasn't doing a great deal of sparring, but just had that natural ability. All right, just had it.
The hunger to understand the roots of boxing shows how serious Moses is about mastering every detail. His obsession with learning and growing mentally and physically gives him a depth that most 20-year-olds in the sport don't have. It's no surprise that comparisons between Moses Itauma and a young Mike Tyson are already being made. With his aggressive style, compact power punches, and mature presence in the ring, many believe Moses is on track to win a world title before he turns 21. This would be an extraordinary achievement considering how rare it is for such young fighters to face the elite. His physicality, speed, and confidence bring flashbacks to Tyson's early days when he was bulldozing opponents. Although the pressure of such comparisons can be heavy, Moses seems unfazed and focused solely on proving himself through performances rather than hype. Moses Itauma didn't become this good overnight.
A couple of weeks ago, they offered me to fight Moses Itauma in Saudi. You know, I said, how much? He said, 2 million. I said, nah, I'm out. I even phoned Dylan. I was like, Dylan, I don't know why you're taking this fight, you know, because this kid is on fire right now. And he's getting better and better. It's not like he's going backwards, he's going forward.
One of the reasons he is taking it is that Moses is WBO #1 at the moment, so that there's some kind of light at the end of the tunnel for Dillian taking that fight.
Ain't no light at the end of that tunnel.
I agree with you. I think I don't think Dillian gets beyond 4 or 5 rounds.
You're crazy. Yeah. There's no light at that tunnel. That kid is, no, you mad. No way. Even Lawrence Okoli said Moses is...
From the age of 18, observers noticed how polished and technically sound he already was. He had hundreds of amateur fights behind him and had gained experience that shaped him into a composed and calculated boxer. His footwork, defense, and clean combinations made it clear that he was built for professional stage long before he turned pro. His early dedication laid a strong foundation, and it's this early preparation that makes his current rise look effortless. While others take years to adjust, Moses entered the professional world already looking like he belonged.
Can he still use them? It's a common opinion that Moses is a great prospect. He's got all the talent in the world, but as a professional, he's untested. I think Dylan sees this as a perfect opportunity to shut the hype train on Itauma, beat this young prospect who everyone's shouting about and get the light back on him. But the problem is, if he loses, he's got nowhere to go. It's game over. But this is boxing. High risk, high reward, or scrambling at the bottom of the heap. We know that Moses wanted to beat Mike Tyson's record in becoming the youngest heavyweight champion of the world, but he's missed that now. So we know he wants to move fast and test himself. He's reaching for greatness. But as the saying goes, you can't put an old head on young shoulders. So maybe he's biting off more than he can chew. From his point of view, beating a veteran like Dillian Whyte will give him credibility. Put him in the mix with the top guys. I'm definitely a fan of Moses. He's got the skill, the talent, the work ethic, and the mindset. The only thing he lacks is experience. And I suppose the only way to get it is to fight these guys. In the fight business, you've got to have thick skin because there's always going to be doubters. It's part of the game. Personally, I don't see the rush. There's so many good fights, even at domestic level. He's only 20. I just feel he's got time on his side. He needs time to mature. Heavyweights don't mature till late 20s. I just see so much value going the traditional route. English, British, Commonwealth, European, then world honours. In my opinion, it's so important. That's your apprenticeship. Gradually learning the game, gaining experience, and each time you pass the test, you step up. This type of progression builds the foundations. There's a reason why the greats.
Veteran heavyweight Derek Chisora questioned the logic behind Dillian, Whyte agreeing to fight Moses Itauma. He pointed out that while Dillian hasn't been active recently, Moses has been constantly improving and evolving with every camp. At just 20 years old, Moses is gaining momentum and sharpening his style every day, while Dillian is returning after a layoff. Chisora noted that Moses' age shouldn't fool anyone because his power, style, and hunger give him a serious edge. His concern wasn't just about Dillian's readiness. It was about how dangerous Moses has quietly become. When seasoned boxers show caution, the threat is real. As the fight talks between Moses Itauma and Dillian Whyte heat up,
I think probably the biggest comparison I would say is how Mike Tyson loved the game, would always study fighters of the past, etc. Moses has that same love for it.
Does he?
Yeah, like we'll send him his sparring at 2 a.m. He'll be texting us clips like, is this more what you want?
He's a student.
Yeah, he absolutely loves it. And that's that, along with his maturity at his age.
Very composed, isn't he? Very composed. Yeah.
That is what is allowing him to achieve what he's achieving at such a young age. Yeah. Because there's lots of talented fighters out there, but not many that
can execute it on the back.
The boxing world is divided. Some believe Moses is the best young heavyweight in the world right now, while others caution that Dillian is a step too far this early. Dillian has faced top-tier opponents and carries veteran experience that Moses doesn't yet possess. However, Moses has youth speed and sharp skills on his side. The matchup is being viewed as the ultimate test for both. For Dillian, It's a chance to shut down the hype. For Moses, it's a golden opportunity to prove he can swim with the sharks.
My name is Guy Itauma. Moses Itauma. I think he's a great fighter. The young, 20 years, yeah?
20.
Yeah, 20 years. I think Itauma have big future.
Boxing analyst Spencer Oliver emphasized that fans have only seen a glimpse of how scary good Moses Itauma can be. According to Oliver, now that Dillian Whyte is lined up as a potential opponent, this will be Moses' biggest test yet. The way Moses handles this kind of experienced power puncher will reveal how complete he really is. Oliver believes Moses has the tools, but Dillian will push him in ways he's never faced before. Fighting someone like Dillian Whyte is not just a risk. It's a massive opportunity for Moses Itauma.
Is Moses Itauma being babied? Jared Anderson had better opposition in his first 12 fights than Moses Itauma. Guaranteed without a doubt. Guaranteed without a doubt. He had better opposition. But Jared gets criticized. And, here we have a guy like Moses being called potentially the next Mike Tyson. They believe he can win a world title under 21 years old.
Most fighters build up their records slowly, but Moses is looking to accelerate the path. Fans are already backing him, hoping he beats Dillian and earns respect on a world-class stage. Whether he wins or learns, this fight will give him experience that no training session can offer boxing analysts on not holding back when it comes to Moses Itauma. They believe he's not just a talented fighter. He's the next British boxing superstar. At just 20 years old, he has already surpassed expectations. His speed, control, and mental focus are far beyond what most boxers achieve even in their late 20s. Experts agree that he has all the tools to become world champion in the near future. What's impressive is how mature and composed he is at such a young age. The predictions aren't based on hype.